Oops. I apologize, Dieter. Oh, also the lights are off. I'm unprepared today. Alexa, lights on. I'm unprepared today. I was muted because I was watching some YouTube videos in the background, and I didn't want the YouTube algo to think that I am copyright streaming stuff. So I had the OBS software muted in the background over there. So I didn't unmute it. So obviously the intro beat, the legendary intro beat, you did not get to listen to it. Also, Alexa did not turn on lights. Alexa, lights on. Here, she does not want to listen to me today. But anyways, we're here. We're ready to get locked and loaded. First stream of the week. I know I was supposed to stream yesterday, but my guest who was supposed to show up had to reschedule. We're gonna have that guest August 20th, August 20, and we do have another guest right after for this Sunday. Hopefully that guest doesn't reschedule, and if they don't reschedule, we should have a fun crypto-based conversation this Sunday coming up. So make sure you're tuned in for that. But let's talk about what happened in the market today, and how can we potentially take advantage of the market tomorrow, what's all on the watch list, and all that other fun stuff. So welcome. Let me say hello to all the viewers who are already here. TH asking me, is the thumbnail The Rock or Jake Paul? No, it's neither. It's Alex Pajera, Alex Potan Pajera, the UFC fighter who just defended his belt last night. Or not last night, Saturday night defended his belt. Well, I guess Sunday morning, Saturday night, whatever. Defended his belt at the light heavyweight spot. So I figured I'm gonna use his face as a thumbnail on YouTube. We also got Dieter in the chat. How you doing, Dieter? Good to see you as always. Who else is here? Angry Buddha's in the house. What's up, Angry Buddha? Barkit's in the house. What's up, Barkit? How you doing? Asking me to analyze Microsoft and Google for sure. We'll take a look at that. Good evening, Prad. You have 3 likes. I'll smash the like, and you will have usually 4. Maybe Ani will show, and you'll get 5. Hopefully, Ani's been AFK these days, so we don't know if she will do anything for us these days. Ani has been too busy, ignoring us apparently. But no, she's in my DMs a couple times, but she is not sure. I think she got a job, and she's very busy since she got that job. I know that for a fact. TH, Alexa left you. She just doesn't want to listen to me. Alexa, lights on. There we go. Much better, much better. August? What do you mean August? Question mark? What are you talking about August? What are you talking about August? Willis? But all right, so those are all the people in chat. Hello, welcome. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend and a wonderful start to your month today, or wonderful start to your week today. Marky, for the most part, did nothing, right? It just chopped up, and then 3 o'clock the market started to break to the downside. Didn't really have much juice to stay getting chopped up in the range, I guess. So shout out to the market eventually figuring out where it wants to go. That's for the Chinese stocks, which are a pretty high priority, right? Pretty high priority for the Chinese stocks. Chinese stocks overall did flush off the open, but later on rallied right back to the upside. So the strength in Chinese stocks is still crazy, and the China market should open back up for business tomorrow. They were on a week-long holiday for their new year, I believe. I could be wrong. Maybe it's not the new year or whatever it is, right? It's the Chinese independence maybe. So they have like a week-long holiday. They just came back from that holiday, and China should be reopening tomorrow. So we'll wait and see if that kind of shakes up the Chinese stocks a little bit. Does it continue to carry them higher? Does it bring back down some opportunities over there? We had DJT move today. DJT moved up to the north side slightly. Probably because Elon was dancing all over the Trump parade over the weekend. That was hilarious. SMCI moved up quite a bit. They had a news that 100,000 or so GPUs were shipped over. Then a couple other names like SRRK was one that I traded today. That one moved around. So stocks like those are on the watch list, along with the Chinese ETFs, along with oil names. INDO went up quite a bit. USO went up a bit today too. So oil names are also on the watch list, along with semiconductors, obviously. obviously SMCI, Nvidia going up to $130 area, actually going slightly above 130, but then pulling right back, managed to break 130. Meta going above 600 and then pulling back below 600, potentially a fake breakout, a false breakout above 600 coming into Meta. So lots to talk about, lots of stocks to prepare for. So why don't we head over to the full screen here and talk about said names. Starting with, we have names that are reporting earnings. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, earnings board is back here. We're now looking at a pretty decent earnings board starting up this week, and then obviously with banks usually being the kickstarter for earnings, we're gonna get some more names throughout the next few weeks coming in. So get ready as we are getting ready for the final earnings season of the year. Let's have some fun. We love earnings season. Usually these bring moves to the market, starting with a stock such as today. NAPA reports today after hours, but they reported today through a pre-market, if I remember correctly, that they're getting acquired for $11.10. So surprisingly enough, that is exactly at the previous high from November 2023. They're getting bought out for $11.10, and they looked ridiculously strong today. They opened around 1080 and just straight moved up from 1080 to $11 without a problem. So we'll be watching this stock tomorrow to see if we can move up to 1110. Does it get above 1110? Does it stay below 1110? So a lot of opportunities over here to look for some money making plays on NAPA. But more importantly, I want to talk about Pepsi for you guys, because these they report earnings tomorrow pre-market. Usually not a stock that I get too excited to day trade. It's a boomer name. I mean, what is Pepsi's PE? Let's go take a quick little glance at that. PEP 1924. So that's not really expensive PE. Yeah, you could have cheaper PE, for example FTX, I believe, now that it's got a discount on the stock, cheaper PE, right? But 24 is not really that expensive for a lot of people. People would be like, okay, those are decent prices, I'll look to invest in that. So if the stock does pull back, it just gets cheaper and cheaper, and for that, it's just not a name that you really want to go out there looking for the shorts. Because, for example, look at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has been one of those very choppy stocks, just going back and forth. Any dip just keeps on getting bought up. They had a little bit of Ozempic scare. That was COVID. I believe this was Ozempic, or maybe this was Ozempic, but that got corrected right away. Names like these, I mean, no one's stopping to drink pop. Granted, I haven't drank pop in a really long time, but you know, people, when they get a chance to drink pop, they love pop. Coca-Cola is one of the most recognizable brands out there, Pepsi along with them. If you ask me, however, Pepsi, no go for me. Coca-Cola is the #1 brand, baby. If you blind test me 100 times, I will get 100 out of 100 which glass is Pepsi, which glass is Coca-Cola. I love Coca-Cola, especially if it's the Coca-Cola from Mexico or from India, anywhere from basically USA or Canada, because in both of these countries they use corn syrup for the sugar, whereas in Mexico or in India they use cane sugar, cane sugar for the sugar content in the Pepsi and the Coca-Cola, and it just tastes 10 times better. It's also way healthier for you than corn syrup sugar. So just not the same taste. I don't like the Coca-Cola here as much as I like back home in India. Anytime I do visit, I love going through Coca-Colas over there. I get so fat when I go to India. Also because very good food, so that also helps the case. Anyways, coming back to the position on hand over here, Pepsi, boomer name. You've seen how last two earnings reports, they've kind of broken down, but then popped right back up off of this 155, 150 area. If we do go back there, I'm not really looking heavy short. You would have to show me selling below 155 for me to really even think or have the even inclination, ooh, that's a big word, I haven't used that in a long time, to even get ready to think about a short position on Pepsi. You need to show me selling below 155. That means the stock maybe blows through 155, is now below 154, pulls back to 154 and is like rejecting 154, not even 155, at that point you can be like, okay, we got some potential downside pockets opening up on this position. Let's think about a potential short. Without that, I'm not even, you know, entertaining that thought process. So if it does drop down over here, you could look for intraday long setups. We've seen how intraday on earnings day, when they do flush all the way down there, they move back. For example, again over here, that one wasn't really a good example. I think they didn't even report on that day. They were supposed to, but they postponed their report, if I remember correctly. But usually names like these, when they flush hard to the downside, they just bounce pretty hard off of a pretty decent level. So keep an eye out if we flush to the downside. If we go higher on a good earnings report, that could change things a little bit, right? You've just seen the trajectory Coca-Cola is on. I mean, I honestly did not see this trajectory Coca-Cola is on. This is kind of insane. Had I known that Coca-Cola was doing this type of move, I would have kept an eye on this. Potentially, if Pepsi reports well, Coca-Cola pops right back up into previous ranges and then sells off back again if the selling is real. So some sympathy trade leaking potential opportunities over there on Coca-Cola, but mainly Pepsi. If it pops up and starts holding above some of these previous areas, that could open up some real long side. Not looking for too long above here too. I mean, once again, same idea to the downside, just flip it to the upside also. Not you expecting a name like Pepsi to really rally would be crazy. For that, you really need to see buying above 184, 185, and on any pullback, we need to see 185 being held. At that point, we can start thinking, okay, this is not a failed breakout. We actually have buyers stepping higher, getting ready to fight for their price and run this position higher. That's when we get ready to think long. Next position I have on my watch list, making a pretty decent move to the upside. Originally I said a small move, but it wasn't small at all. 11.4%. I think it almost went to 1950. Yeah, 1968 was today's high on DJT. I remember trading the stock today, and I'll show you how I actually executed on this. Give me a second. So here is my DJT trade. So I was watching the stock off the open. I did not recognize that there was elevated R vol on this position. I was just like, you know, there's nothing really going on. There's no real news for DJT. I don't buy it. So I was just watching it off the open, and then it kind of broke out of this area, brought in more volume. At that point, I really focused in on the volume, and I noticed, okay, wow, this stock is doing higher volume than for the last 5 days, for the last 10 days. This is doing real R vol. So there is some kind of authenticity behind this long over here that we're taking off. The stock then also breaks out of the $18 area, pulls back to 18, holds, and starts rallying again. I'm in shock at this point. I go, wow, that $18 break was amazing. It even came back and held 18 and just rallied to another straight dollar into $19. That was an insane move. So let's keep an eye on this position to see what really happens. So the stock then wiggles around this $19 area quite quickly and volatilely, back and forth, and then once it does this little move over here, that big up move, and a reject off that up move right back to the downside, there was a seller here on multiple gateways with the exact same order size. So that tells me that somebody might have flipped on some sort of a sell program, or is really looking to get rid of their size, but they are doing it in a sophisticated way. Instead of doing it on one gateway, they're splitting it on multiple gateways. So we can clearly see that there's a seller here. If this seller gets taken out, then there's more buying imbalance than the selling imbalance. The seller who's just kind of wanting to chase this position down is now going to be proven wrong and most likely going to get stopped out on a swing higher. So eventually that size breaks, I get flipped into a long, we wiggle back and forth, we don't really take out previous lows, so I'm able to hold this position into what looks to be into an exhaustion area. I try to get some shares back, but then clearly the patterns start breaking, so I just walk out of this trade with a nice little profitable scalp for me on DJT. So that's how I executed today on DJT. But with today's move, I'm guessing, you know, today's move is kind of just secular. It was just a random one-off event because Elon Musk has been backing Donald Trump. And honestly, how good was that call out? I said, if you are interested to buying DJT, they've announced that they are done selling on this position. Your risk is literally $10 floor. You're buying around $12 to $13, and your reward is 20, 50, 100. Who knows? If Donald actually wins, is it hard to see the stock back at $50? I don't think so. Is that really that hard to envision the stock back at $50 if Donald Trump wins? I don't think that's that hard. So, you know, this was a great spot to buy some shares. I should have done it. I was being a little hesitant because I wanted $12 and $12.50. But, you know, at the end of the day, call outs don't make you money. It's execution. So sadly, no execution was made on my end. Hopefully some of you guys took advantage of that call out and you know, had this nice run up almost into $20. Now we'll see how much more juice there is in this position. If there is more upside, especially if DJT wins. Let's actually go take a look at Polymarket. We got NASCAR's in the chat. NASCAR, I haven't seen you in the chat a long time. What's up, NASCAR? We didn't have a 250% intraday runner in 9 straight trading days before CHSN squeezed 1,550%. Today we had 3 250% intraday runners. Coincidence? I think not. I don't know what you're trying to hint at, but I think it's a good thing. Small caps are waking up. I hope that's what you're hinting at. I'm not sure what you're hinting at, to be honest. I feel like a noob at the moment. It can be easy to predict which days will be hot. It's still hard to predict what ticker it will be. I guess scanners will help with that. Scanners usually help with that. If Donald actually wins, when he wins. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, when he wins, not if he wins. Right now you can vote on Donald winning, and he is currently 53% probability to win according to Polymarket. Camela falling back into 45%. You can bet $53.07, or is it 53 cents? What does that say? How does that work? I'm guessing that's $53.07. There's shares for this? There's big money on this. Wait, is this like options? So the people who bought here, oh my Jesus. Imagine the guy who bought 1 cent. And he can sell at 54? Oh my God. That guy's rich. Now that's a trade that we should have probably taken IRL, real life. That is a sick trade if that's how that system works. We probably messed up big time on that money over there. All right. Let's go talk about one of those 200% movers that NASCAR was talking about just a moment ago. SRRK, Phase 3 therapeutic company. It says Scholar Rock Holding. When I saw this name, I thought it was some sort of education company, schooling company of some sorts. But no, biotech, Phase 3 news coming in and launching off to the upside. So shout out to this company, obviously. Not a big cap, but not an extremely small cap either. What was the ticker? I forgot. SRRK. So this is decent short float, 75 million float. I guess that is considered a small cap. But the Phase 3 news coming in, launching it to the upside. Let's see if it continues to have more juice and keeps burning out some stops over here, or does it die down? The liquidity on the stock today was a little thin from what I remember. It wasn't really, it was a little whippy. Maybe that's why I was hesitating to take some real size, because what was this, like a $2 whip? That's a $2 whip on a 5-minute chart, right? $3, $2 whip there, back and forth. So I felt like it was hard to look to get size in, but I took that $30 breakout. Let me just show you the trade. I took that $30 breakout, got out into 31, tried to hold some for the bigger move, managed to get out into 32.50 after that range consolidation right there, broke down, and didn't really touch the stock after. Not really a connoisseur of small caps, really, and especially biotech names. I've traded biotech names before, and they've usually hurt me instead of pay me, but I found a decent enough of a setup to look for a trade. Look how beautifully it held 30 on every single dip after that breakout of 30. So you could have looked long multiple times and basically had that run up into what, $33, $34 if you were looking for it. So clearly a name to be watching tomorrow. If there is more juice going into this position, if there's more shorts being trapped from today going into tomorrow, we're trapping more shorts tomorrow too, then this is the action that you get. You get stops getting bursted out, you get people getting margin called, and positions moving into hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So let's watch if names like these get active again. I'm not sure if there are other two names that NASCAR All Out was mentioning were also this one looks like an education company, AMBO, up 200% today. Potentially should keep this one on watch too. AMBO going crazy. And SOBR, oh man, probably because your friend Benjamin Yo, the biggest Twitter scammer of the stock market, mentioned that he entered into 1 million shares position short into SOBR. So we'll see if he gets busted out. SOBR usually was actually active a couple days ago, if I remember. Yeah, it was active quite a bit right here, and now we're getting active again. Had a stock split not too long ago. Was that yesterday? No, October 2nd. Maybe that's how I remember this stock being active. I can't remember when I was trading it and why I was trading it recently. But here's a new reason to trade it. So SOBR, SRRK, and AMBO. Thank you, NASCAR All Out, for putting that on notice. TH saying biotech sucks. For the most part, I agree. But as for day trading, I don't think they suck at all, because you get beautiful shorting opportunities, you get beautiful long going opportunities, you get beautiful money making opportunities. All right. I want to quickly talk about EVGO. EVGO had a decent pullback today, but I don't think it's anything of too much concern. It bounced hard. It bounced pretty hard right back to the north side. So I wouldn't call this a concern. The stock still has a decent catalyst, and now at this point we're basically seeing if the stock can stay above $6 or so. As long as the stock can stay above 6, you can continue to look long. I was actually intending to get long into Friday's low, which was $6.13, but it bounced off of $6.30, so it was like 20-cent difference over there. I could have fought for the long into 6.30. I was being hesitant, so I missed out on a nice move back into $6, back into $7, sorry. But that was a fairly easy long if you were looking for it. Your risk was very defined after the stock created some sort of a bottom right there, and you could have looked to long to get back into VWAP, or maybe even mean reversion back into today's high, which never really played out. But the idea is the stock, as long as it stays above 6, you're kind of playing the under over around 6. And if it starts going crazy again to the north side, volume picks back up, buyers start holding higher, we start breaking out higher and higher, then that's just a whole different setup. At that point, you're not even worried about 6. Now you're worried about how the stock is doing at previous highs, like that $8, that $7.50 area, and so on. So EVGO, CLOV, this one pulling back and looks like it's creating that failure to follow through at this point. So basically $4 is the under over. We peaked above 4 on Friday, but we failed on that breakout. Today we got above 4 again, and we failed one more time. So CLOV, you're kind of playing that $4 under over. I'd even say 380. Once it gets to 380 and starts failing, that's where you might want to be even get ready to hammer the short on this position, as it might be ready to pull all the way back to the downside. I'm not saying it's going to do that in one straight day, straight to the downside, but some downside opportunities here opening up if this catalyst is not strong enough. This is the classic failure to follow through. You're waiting to see how previous days highs come into play, and right now previous days highs are very juicy for that short opportunity. So CLOV 380 for under over. EVGO for now, I'm just going to put 6 under over, but I'm not going to highlight it as a high importance of a stock. It's going to be highlighted as a lower importance. SRRK, obviously this one's on watch, so we're going to mark that as high. DJT, I don't think it's going to do much tomorrow, so we'll put that on blue. PEP, we'll figure it out in pre-market. And Napa, because it's a buyout stock and I want to trade it, we'll color that in orange. Now let's go to XPEV, some of the EV names from China. Clearly still very bullish. I mean, look at the hold above $12 over here on XPEV. Same with Li Auto, still looking very strong on Li Auto. NIO looks a little bit bearish than the two, but still, you know, very strong at the moment. NIO actually only up 0.3%, whereas XPEV and Li Auto are up 2.1. Li Auto was up like 4.18. Okay, Li Auto, my bad, I spoke shit. So Li Auto ridiculously strong. At the end of the day, guys, I mean, my song is still the same. I'm a broken record. The higher these stocks go, the better the short. At the moment, I recognize a little bit of a battle around 32 all the way up to 32.20, 32.30. So Li Auto potentially on watch all the way up to $32 to 32.30 area. If we can start finding some resistance on a higher pop, I would love to short that, especially with Chinese market opening back up for business tomorrow. If they start looking to take profits, you know, they got a lot of juice coming into their market over here from the North American side. If the Chinese traders, after spending all their money on vacation and time off and spending time with family, want to all of a sudden open up their bank accounts and see a shit ton of profits, do they take you know, covers? That's a question that we need to figure out. So how much higher can the Chinese market go over here? This is an insane rally at the moment. Every single dips just keep getting bought up. Oop, put Baba in my notes. Every single dip just keeps getting bought up. Here's Baba. We took out Friday's low on Baba, and then we rallied to a whole new high on Baba. Here's FXI doing the exact same thing. Baidu, JD, Pinduoduo, TIGR, which was actually a great short. This was the only one that didn't really do what the rest of the Chinese markets did, so this one's really on watch if the Chinese market pulls back. FUTU. So there's so many names over here that are ridiculously strong, and some of them which are weak, such as NIO, not really that high of a growth on the day today, whereas the rest of the stocks really rallied. JD, if I remember correctly, didn't really rip that far up to the north side on the notional, not the notional, but on the percentage numbers. So you got some stocks over here that you can potentially keep an eye on to the downside. Overall, just look at the ETF. The ETF is ridiculously strong. I was looking for that 36 breakdown, at which point I would be ready to think short, but we never got that 36 breakdown. We basically bounced off the 36. So tomorrow, you're looking for on the FXI ETF, in my opinion. As for supports, 36. If we hold above 36, you need to forget the shorts. Forget to even look short. But if we're not above 36 on the FXI, that's game on for the shorts, in my opinion. Now, obviously, today's high is 37.50. You can keep an eye on 37.50 to see if there's weakness there. But with the way the market has been playing, how impressive the Chinese market is, if we are at 37.50, I'm expecting the Chinese market to really find some support above today's VWAP, still be very strong, every dip to get bought up, be resilient, the great Chinese dragon. So just be very careful looking for the short on the Chinese market if we're not below 36 on the FXI. So I will be watching, I keep putting these in my notes. I will be watching TIGR, BABA, JD, and everything, but my main barometer is going to be watching if FXI is above or below 36 for the short play. We got Carolyn coming in. Carolyn saying, Hi, tried to prep. I miss you on Trader TV Live. Appreciate you. Much love over there. I love the last name, Carolyn Savage. I love the last name. But hey, you know, all good things must come to an end. We got free advice guy Luke Halters in the chat. What's up, Luke? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Usually you're busy with your family, aren't you? Around these times, are you playing Valorant right now? Is that why you're on in the chat? But always good to see you in chat. I noticed that you're also on the Twitch chat. Well, hello. MSTR giving a ton of volume to trade, by the way. I'm guessing because Bitcoin made a little bit of a pop overnight, if I remember accurately. Bitcoin going up. I know you and the irresponsibly long MSTR gang is loving the move over here. I mean, if you are long into this 113 dip and you're now watching at 180, you are obviously enjoying the ride up. So Angry Buddha, the irresponsibly long MSTR gang, hats off to you guys. Let me actually quickly change my hats here. To the Dogecoin to the moon hat, because you know, let's send cryptocurrencies higher, and obviously let's send MSTR to the moon. So watching Coinbase, watching MSTR, watching IBIT every time Bitcoin moves around. But MSTR is doing its own thing at the moment, almost hitting the all-time high of 200. Do we get above 200? Do we get a real breakout above 200? Do we get a false breakout above 200? So lots of fun activity getting ready to play on an intraday setup. For the long-term traders, I mean, you have a good base of support being built up over here. You basically don't need to stop out of your position until the position gets below 160. And if you're long here and you did not take any profits into 190, into 200, did you know, you need to ask yourself some questions over there. You need to ask yourself some real questions as to how stupid are you? Look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm stupid if you didn't take some profits. I'm talking to you, Angry Buddha. Obviously not all of it. Take some profits on a move like this, but then also you have a very defined stop for a swing stop, right? You have a very defined swing stop to take profits into if it does break down, and that way you lock yourself in some money and not really get hurt if it goes all the way back down. Obviously, if your game plan is completely different, don't let me hold you back, baby. Ride them profits, ride that rocket ship until that rocket ship, you know, boosters die off. For example, let me throw in a couple anchored VWAPs. This is the August recession low anchored VWAP. Whoa, surprisingly enough, August recession low anchored VWAP coming in lower than the most recent low anchored VWAP. So the most recent low anchored VWAP at the moment coming in right around 180. So the idea is, even if the stock pulls back, you would expect 180 to show you at least some sort of buying. I'll even leave the anchored VWAP from August recession lows, which is coming in around 143. So you would expect the stock to not really go all the way back if it does pull back for any of you swing traders. Ideally, this is where I think will be some stops for the swing traders. A lot of stops for the swing traders for not 100% of their position. I think, you know, some of their position that they have left will get stopped out over here. Most of them should be taking profits on a run up like that. Beautiful trade. Shout out to Angry Buddha, baby. Shout out to Angry Buddha. It is also bringing in volume on the daily scale. We are now getting above the 20-day moving average on the volume. You can see right here on the downside, it is getting above the 20-day moving average for the volume. So volume being poured back in, MSTR going back to 200. Does Bitcoin give it some juice? Does Bitcoin rally back higher again and give MSTR the propulsion, I'll stop trying to think of really big words. The propulsion it needs to go to 200 and beyond, to infinity and beyond. All right. We got some new people in the chat. Let me quickly say hello to our viewers over here. Hi, Prad. Did you like the big drop today? I mean, the big drop really didn't do too much. For example, if you look at the QQQ, it did absolutely zilch, right? The market just kind of stood still. We did nothing until 3 o'clock, and then it was kind of too late to get into a position at that point. It's like, really, what am I really trading for? Am I really looking for that 1 hour move? How much does the move really have? So this could kind of kickstart a move tomorrow, because if you're looking at the VIX really got up there today. The VIX got up to $23. Staying above 19 was my key level. And not only are we staying above 19, we're now pushing back into 24. So the VIX is getting active. The market didn't really do too much in my opinion, because I mean, if you look at the longer term picture, this is the big picture. The S&P 500 really needs to get below 565 for us to even be like, it's game on for the short. So today's last hour of the move on the market could be the fuel to the fire that we're going to start selling off. This is what we kind of needed for the short sellers, the bears, the Timothy Bear Lemaine over here that hangs by my microphone all day. You know, this is the type of Kickstarter maybe we needed, because you can see how the sell-offs are deeper than the pullbacks. The pullbacks are, I guess, decently deep too. I shouldn't say that, because that candle shows you that most of the body transacted over here. We just got a big tail. That's a pretty bullish body too. Even this downside candle is a pretty bullish body to the upside. So at the end of the day, I mean, this range is the only thing that matters, and the story is either we get below 565 on the S&P 500. Since we're already talking about S&P 500, let me just put it into my notes. We either get below 565 on the S&P 500 or we don't. It's as simple as that. Even with the market pulling back slightly into the last hour, the only thing that mattered to me was VIX propelling to the upside. VIX is the baby over here. This one going higher, putting fear or showing you that the fear is opening up across the board, even with inflations being or the inflation talk, for example. Let me read some of the comments here from Financial Juice. Financial Juice was whoa. Okay, I thought this Israel was attacking or something. I was seeing some red alerts, so I kind of got scared. Okay, now we're good. No attacks just yet. What was it? Kashkari was talking today. So Kashkari said the overall U.S. economy is resilient. The labor market is still looking strong. We want to keep it that way. I am not seeing signs of resurgent inflation. Reduction new rents gives us confidence that housing inflation will come down. The Fed's balance sheet is shrinking, but has a ways to go yet. I now see neutral Fed funds rate as close to 3%. What else did he say today? I guess those were the main comments today from Kashkari. So for the most part, bullish comments from how I read it, and even with bullish sentiment from across the board, inflation, labor market, everything being talked about in the right direction, we're seeing the VIX go up. Where's the fear coming from? I guess the fear is coming from the potential World War III, right? So I don't really want to be the warmonger. I don't want to be the guy screaming World War III or anything. But, you know, the potential of crazy things happening, we are on the verge of it. No one knows when Israel is going to attack Iran. We apparently have a new catalyst that Putin, Russia's president, Vladimir Putin, is going to meet the Iran's president on October 11th. At the same time, Biden is going to be meeting Netanyahu on October 11th at the same time. So what's going on over there? What? You know, why is Russia meeting Iran, and why is Netanyahu meeting Biden? So all kinds of weird situations playing out, and if things actually pop off in the Middle East, not only you have VIX going higher, you have oil names, INDO for example today up 18.8%. This was the last April attack when the INDO started going crazy. Now we're getting INDO going back into those levels. USO for example, this is US oil. Ever since that attack started off recently, October 1st, you've been watching USO go up a ridiculous amount of percentage. XOM almost at all-time highs, or actually took out all-time highs. Bang, took out all-time highs. I don't watch XOM for a couple of days, and I missed the move. So XOM took out all-time highs, now at $127 to $126. Oxy has been lagging a little bit. CVX, Oxy with a beautiful bounce, even with the lag. Oxy has been, offered a beautiful bounce over here, right off the Buffett level, right off the Buffy level. I love it. right off the Buffy level, we're bouncing. CVX also lagging a little bit compared to XOM, but also getting that sympathy move back to the upside. So XOM has been basically the big dog, I guess, in the oil names. But right now, the main two names that I really care about, not even XOM, is just INDO. HUSA is a good one to remember. HUSA, INDO, and USO. Those are the only three ones that I kind of want to keep a track for these oil names. Let me just quickly add HUSA in my watch. Just almost forgot about that. And USO. These are the only three things I want to watch for the oil names for the Iran, Israel, Middle East catalyst that we got going on. So keep an eye on that. Sorry I'm late. I lost track of time. You don't have to apologize for that, Victor. Nobody is mandated to come to these streams, but I appreciate everyone who does and hits the like. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you. Yeah, that's funny. You don't have to apologize for that. Michael, why did the market sell off so hard today? I think the answer is just the fear of potential escalation. No de-escalation being talked about at all at the moment. So just the potential escalation in the Middle East is I fear the only catalyst that's really not stopping the market from going back higher. I could be wrong, but I didn't see anything else on the market today that kind of would have hurt it. October was a reverse split to run 5 days post split. Remember T-Non, it ran $4 to $130 in the mid-September 7th days post split. I'll be honest, I remember the ticker, but I don't think I traded it because I'm not really a small caps guy, but I think I remember watching it for sure. I remember the ticker, that's for sure. These usually group together. The reverse split runners rarely run the day of the split. Day 3 to 7 post split is the most common runners, with SOBR running. Big look for other recent splits. Okay, I like it. We got some potential splitters that are on the watch list over here from NASCAR All Out. Potential runners. KRKR seems that one's a familiar name. I've traded that one before, or at least I've watched that one before. But we got a bunch of other names over here. Shout out to NASCAR All Out with a bunch of small cap. Stocks are set to sell off in big October. Victor saying Spooktober. Spooktober is here, ladies and gentlemen. Spooktober is descending upon us, and we'll see if the break of 565 really brings out the what are their names again? Freddy Krueger, the Jason, and all the scary players out on the market. Let's see if that comes out. Who else we got in the comments? Hit the like button, says Carolyn. Yes, Caroline. Is it Caroline or Carolyn? Hopefully I'm saying it right. Caroline or Carolyn? Let me know, please. Mrs. Savage saying hit the like button. That's right. Hit the like button. Please. Boom. Your mom just... What? Why is that all the way up there? Your mom just sent you a text message to hit the like. You better do it. Your mom's going to be pretty upset if you don't do it, okay? She's going to be very upset if you don't do it. Never, Caroline. Okay, Carolyn. Never Caroline. Ew, gotcha. So Carolyn. Okay, gotcha. Russia froze 327 million of USA funds, both JP Morgan and Mellon Bank. Well, didn't USA first freeze Russian funds and Russian companies and Russian interlisted so on when they invaded Ukraine? So Russia can do whatever they want at this point. Russia can do whatever they want at this point. But I don't want to see Russia unifying with Iran, because that will maybe force USA's hand to step in. Not like USA hasn't already stepped in, but that will force USA's hands to step in. And that is literally World War III. That is literally World War III. Russia trying to unify the war. Let's bring Ukraine war and this war and all the wars together and combine together. China comes in and says, we're gonna take over Taiwan while you guys are fucking around on that side. I mean, is that... At that point, why even bother with the stock market? We're gonna get probably nuclear Armageddon, right? Apparently Russia has a dead man kill switch. For example, there's a remote control for the nuclear launches, right? I think it's called a football. The nuclear football in at least in the movies, in American movies, it's called the nuclear football, right? In Russia, the nuclear football is a dead man switch. So if the that stays full, it doesn't stay full. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. In Russia, they have a dead man switch where if let's say American nukes go off and they land in Russia, and it takes out like a big city where the person who's holding the remote control is no longer able to press the button. There's detectors on the ground that will detect nuclear blast-offs, and if the switch doesn't get triggered in an X amount of time, those rockets will automatically be launched towards America. So there is going to be a wipeout if it ever goes there. Hopefully, knock on wood, we never go there. Have you guys seen the TV show Fallout on Netflix? Based off of a real video game. Shout out to Bethesda. Actually, no shout out to Bethesda. Fuck Bethesda. For making garbage games, unfinished games, selling it to us, making us buy it every single time, and then giving us updates afterwards. So actually, no shout out to Bethesda. I take that back. But the movie or the TV show on Netflix actually came out great. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. Where is Netflix these days? Oh wow, nice hold on Netflix on this all-time high range. That is actually a very bullish hold on Netflix in this range higher. We have the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight coming up very soon, and that's going to be streamed on Netflix. That's going to be fun to watch. But coming back to the Fallout TV show, I mean, if you guys have seen it, we don't want that. We don't want that at all. Okay, so October 11th, we'll see what happens. October 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Hopefully we call for peace. Hopefully we call for peace and the market just rallies right back higher. But if it doesn't, know what you want to trade and trade it well, because things are going to go crazy. Once again, S&P 500 below 565. That is the main level we're keeping an eye on to the downside. Let me quickly go over some of the large cap stocks over here, which are the Magnificent Seven: Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. Apple finally breaking back down, and Microsoft joining the party. So here's a big move on Microsoft once again. Microsoft has been pulling back straight to the downside for quite some while now. So straight up move, straight down move. We'll be interested to see how it reacts. Usually when a move is this volatile, this is a daily chart, keep in mind. This is not a 5-minute chart. Usually if a 5-minute chart looks like this, after all of that back and forth, you get some consolidation. So I will not be surprised if Microsoft cools off really quick. But looking at the potential weakness in the market, let me also quickly look at the stats. First period, 2 minutes 26, 7. Who got the first touchdown? Boom, let's go. Oh shit, no, I don't have Kareem Hunt. I have Travis Kelce. No, I need TK. No, wait, did I take Kareem Hunt? Oh, I should have taken Kareem Hunt. I was thinking if I wanted Kareem Hunt or Travis Kelce, I took Travis Kelce. I also have Alvin Kamara. This guy has no yards. You suck, dude. Come on. And I have this guy. This guy has 1 target, 4 yards. That's sad. That's sad. Okay. Rushing. That's not... Did I do under for this guy or over? I think I did over. I think I did under. I can't remember. Alright, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, coming back to Microsoft and Tesla. Microsoft pushing right back to the downside. Apple pushing under 224, if I remember correctly, was the level. Right there, 224. So breaking back below 224 opens up some room back into 216, 215s or so. So keeping an eye on Apple for continued weakness. Basically, you don't want to see Apple above 224, 225. If Apple is back above 224, 225, I'm not that interested for the short side on Apple. I'm also not that interested on the long side on Apple at that point, but I'm just not interested on the short side. Tesla. Tesla previously had a lot of trouble below 235, but then got above 235 and never really tested it. The August swing lows anchored VWAP is also near $225. I'm expecting Tesla to have a little bit more back and forth here to bring this anchored VWAP into 235, at which point we probably test 235, or we just get below 235, go into 225, and then bounce out of 225. For this to happen, I would expect the S&P 500 is below 565. So if S&P 500 is really weak below 565 and Tesla is giving you an opportunity to get short on the breakdown below 235, there could be a short setup over there to think about, but I'm mainly looking to see how the action plays out on the S&P 500 to kind of give me a reason to take a trade on Tesla. But more so, I'm more interested on Meta than anything, because Meta has had an insane rally. This consolidation is pretty strong, but this breakout that we just saw today above 600, that could be looked as a false breakout, a failed breakout. So we'll see if this breakout is a failed breakout or not. If we continue to find some buying above Friday's low, above Monday's low, which is today's low, then this is not really that big of a failed breakout. Yeah, a failed breakout 600, but this is not really that big of a breakout. Also, if S&P 500 is below 565, I'm not sure Meta is going to be here. I think Meta is going to be here in this range if S&P 500 is below 565, at which point you might have to look at the hourly chart for a better level to play off of and get an opportunity to get short on Meta. Meta has had an insane rally. Shout out to Meta for breaking 600 to begin with. I mean, let's go. Wow, we actually called a bunch of people and told them to get long on Meta into these ranges. Hopefully they actually did, but if they didn't, hey, not my problem at that point, right? So Meta actually got into $600. That's one of the easiest pickups, one of the strongest Magnificent 7 stocks. So keeping that idea back in the mind that this is one of the strongest Mag 7 stocks recently. If the market is not below 565, you're looking to see if the dips on this position get respected, if they buy those dips, and we get a potential rally back into 600. So monster move over here on Meta. Nvidia had a pretty good move also, breaking back above 130 on Nvidia, all the way into actually a previous level, looks like. So moving back above 130, but then that was a pretty strong false breakout above 130, failed breakout above 130 on Nvidia. Semiconductor sector was overall really strong, so I would just chalk it up to the Nvidia semiconductor sector being strong. SMCI, I believe, was the main catalyst for the semiconductor sector, ripping up 15-16% on the back of the news that they delivered 100,000 new GPUs. Okay, you're still a scam though, so I don't know about that. But remember what I said about SMCI. This is going to be one of the biggest investments of your life if this company is not a scam. If this company is not a scam, this is going right back to $100. Right back to $100. This is flying off to 100 if this company is not a scam. All that we have to wait for is to see if the company reports their 10K, if the DOJ comes out with a good report. So I am waiting patiently to buy some SMCI on my own account. You got to be very, very careful, because the second this comes out as a scam and the DOJ says, hey, these guys are absolute frauds, then you want to back off of that. So right now, beautiful move off of a news catalyst. You got good levels right here, right into 48.50, then another really good level into 63.70, let's just say 64. So you got good levels to play off of. Let's see if we see some rejection off of this 48.50 tomorrow. I'm gonna kind of extend that level from 48.50 into $50. I'm gonna give it some leniency to that range. And then the next level above that is obviously that $63, $64 that we're watching. Micron having a decent reversal, holding 99 really well and showing strength above 99. TSM rallied right back to the upside. I was surprised by this. I did not expect TSM to rally all the way back up like that, but I guess if the semiconductor sector is strong, why not? But I'm just looking for potential shorts, because we've seen how weak the stock is on any real pops. There was some previous bad news that brought it back down. This is just semiconductor AI news that's been taking it higher. or just strength, I guess, in general, taking it higher, not really AI news. But then it got slammed right back down hard when the rest of the semiconductors didn't really get slammed that hard. So we're watching to see if TSM will potentially give you some short opportunities intraday. Micron looking to see if it stays above 99, you got a long. If it doesn't stay above 99, you got a gap close into 96 for MU. But with the way we're building right now on Micron, 99 showing up to be a pretty solid level for us to play with on this position. Tesla Robotaxi event on the 10th, says Angry Buddha. Thank you. Did not, I kind of forgot that catalyst, I'll be honest. So October 10th, we got Robotaxi news coming in, the event where they're going to be announcing that you will be able to, if you own a Tesla, you will be able to sleep, go to bed, while your Tesla is basically driving around, picking up people, dropping them off, and so on. Not sure if you're gonna trust people with your cars like that, but you now have another added source of revenue. You could be at your office, you don't need your car, your car is just sitting there in the office, just wasting energy, not really collecting any money for you, depreciating in value, in fact, right? Now your car is making some money for you. So that's their idea over there. We'll see how that actually plays out. Obviously, if that catalyst is coming out soon, then expecting Tesla to pull back harder is kind of on the lower end, on the lower end for that pullback. So you really need SPY to break 565 and look weak below 565 to even think about a heavy short Tesla. Okay? Tesla could soar soon on some very bullish news, says TH. Yes, I'm guessing you're talking about the very same news that Angry Buddha just mentioned. Nike fell over another percent. Die, Nike, die. TH, you're such an evil fuck. Why, TH? What has Nike done to you, huh? What has Nike done to you? That is pretty bearish, though. They try to hold above 82, 83, getting back below 80. This looks like they're gonna go back a little bit more. We are now finding selling off the earnings anchored VWAP on any pop, so could open up more downside, but keep in mind, once that CEO change news really kicks into power and then we actually see real changes, I think Nike is really set up for some good trajectory upside. So that's just my little tidbits about this one. Intel, we didn't really talk about Intel, but I don't think there's anything to really talk about Intel. It's staying above 22 at the moment. As long as it stays above 22, you can look long. If it gets below 22, I think you can look short, but we do have a decent swing low over here below 22. I think that's 2150. So it really needs to get below 22 and then get below 2150 for you to think extra bearish. Be ready to cover into 2150 if it does get below 22. Or just don't even look short. Look for the strength above 22 and then get long above 22 for a potential move into 25 on a swing account or something, right? But Intel's got a lot of issues for swinging, for investing. I would just not suggest that unless Qualcomm or some company really wants to come in, step in and buy out Intel. That's a whole different deal. Palantir, a little bit of a pullback, but nah, nothing really. They'll break out of 40 if you ask me. Gold and silver. Gold consolidating really well, holding above the 9 moving average on the daily chart here, potentially getting ready for another breakout. And if gold breaks out, SLV, which recently broke out on Friday but had a false breakout, broke out to the high side and then got right back to the south side, and now we're right back into these ranges. So if gold starts moving higher again, this could actually have some traction on the second time above 30. So you're watching SLV over here, or even 2950, having some traction above 2950 if gold breaks out, and then you can look for the long from 2950 into 30, and then a hold above 30 for even potential juice on SLV. This precious metals, my precious. However, these are not the metals themselves, these are the ETFs of these precious metals. No way, really. I'm guessing you're talking about Tesla robotaxis? Guessing that's what you mean by no way really. But yeah, that's basically all she wrote for tomorrow's watch list. Oh, did not mean to open that. Meant to open this. Real quick look at the earnings board for the rest of the week. Obviously, we'll be showing you this every single day. But tomorrow we have Pepsi, we have Delta Airlines coming out this week, Domino's Pizza, DPZ's, Tilray. Smoke weed every day. Tilray reporting earnings Thursday pre-market. Then we got the big boys: JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, BKNY, Fast. That's not really a bank, is it? Is that an insurance company? Fast, no. Fast? Pretty sure it's an insurance company, right? Wholesale distributors. I completely got it wrong. Okay. No clue what they do, but looks like I have traded them before. No clue what they do, but I have traded them before. Apparently right here on the earnings day because they gapped down pretty hard. Okay. Mainly Wells Fargo, JP Morgan will be the ones that we care about. The week after that, we got potentially more banks reporting earnings and a lot more names coming into play. Let's take a look at the economic calendar, see if there's any reason the market could really shake up things tomorrow. We got export-import numbers at 8:30. We got Atlanta Fed GDP numbers at 10:30. Is the music really loud? It shouldn't be. Atlanta Fed GDP numbers at 10:30. FOMC member Bostic at 12:45. 3-year bond auction at 1 o'clock. Not really anything too major that I see. We just have 2-star events, 1-star events. Member Bostic, that could possibly move the market a little bit. There were times when the market was whipping, when Kashkari was talking today. So maybe Bostic could, we need to see if he's a voting member or not actually. So I think I have a cheat sheet here somewhere. I should have saved it. Damn it. Ah. There was a really cool picture that shows you exactly Fed member by Fed FOMC voting members 2024. Okay, so is Bostic in here? He is. So that is a little important. So you want to make sure that if Bostic is talking, like for example, Kashkari, is he in here in this list? Was not, but still kinda was moving the market. So voting members always potentially could move the market, but not really too many important events tomorrow that could add impact to the market other than the most recent catalyst that we got going, which is higher VIX. Higher VIX is the only thing that matters at the moment. We do have an IPO on the 10th of October. And on the 9th of October. So we have 2 IPOs. Move Lubricants Holdings. Diddy company over here IPOing on October 10th. And KLC Kinder Care Learning Companies IPOing on the 9th of October. So obviously we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about KLC tomorrow, and we'll talk about Diddy on Wednesday 9th of October. So make sure you tune in tomorrow and Wednesday to learn about what these IPOs do. We recently had an IPO to trade. I think that was an aerospace company. I'm already forgetting what the ticker of that company is. Someone help me please. I don't need your help. Sorrow. My memory's so good. So here's the aerospace and defense company. They're basically repair Boeing and a bunch of other companies, air flights, third-party repair company. Recently IPO, decent IPO for the long side on the intraday trade. If you were watching it, 31 was a beautiful long opportunity. I actually got long into 31 right there, and you had to ride all the way into $33. Easy scalp to the upside intraday, and if you were looking for a bigger move, sadly you didn't get that bigger move yet, but a break above 33, have an alert there, and maybe the stock will give you some opportunities to play with. So let me just add an alert right into that area on SARO. Potentially could even look short off of that level, because right now the stock seems to be getting rejected off of that area. Volume is a little not the greatest, but we do have 2.5 million the whole day volume, right? So not the greatest, but okay volume. So SARO, and then we got 2 other IPOs coming out throughout this week, so make sure you tune in to learn about that. This Diddy company's got to be hilarious. I can't wait to deep dive into what they do. But that is basically all she wrote for today's stream. Make sure to check out my Linktree page. I will be posting that right now in all of my chats. Check it out. It has all of my social media links right here at the top. YouTube, Twitter, or should I say, sorry, x.com, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. Check out all of my social medias. My affiliate sponsors. Shout out to Trade Ideas, TraderSync, and Benzinga Pro. You haven't seen us use Benzinga Pro today, but usually for earnings, we use Benzinga Pro to read the news. I also have Benzinga Pro playing all day when I'm trading because they have a squawk. For those of you who don't know what squawk is, Squawk is basically like a news reader. There's a guy talking about what stock is moving, any very active news that comes out in that very same second, so that way you can be alerted to that position. It's kind of having like a voice alert of a guy actually talking to you. So I have the Benzinga Squawk playing all day in the background. If you're interested in the opportunity of using that Squawk along with a bunch of other tools like scanning, charting, news, check out Benzinga Pro. For using also scanning, charting, and all other cool stuff, check out Trade Ideas. If you want to get better at your trading, you will not get better without tracking your performance. You have to track your performance to see where you're losing money, where you're making money, and how to maximize the winners and how to minimize the losers. That's the name of the game, right? If you're winning something, figure out how you're winning and do more of that. If you're losing something, figure out why you're losing and do less of that. You're not going to be able to do all of that if you're not journaling, if you're not keeping track of your trades and see where the leaks are in the bucket. Stop the leaks in the bucket, baby. So that's how you do it. Check out my affiliate sponsors and then a bunch of other links down over here for you to check out. That is all she wrote for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. It is time for Patty Daddy to head out. It's time for you to head out, get some sleep, go hang out with your family members. It's 9 p.m. here in Toronto, Canada. Sadly, the sun is setting very quick, man. Summer is done. The sun was up to like 8:30, 8 p.m. Now the sun is setting at like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So sad. We're not gonna have that much sunlight anymore, which means we're gonna eventually move to the stupid daylight savings nonsense. So we're gonna have to lose an hour of our sleep. Or do we get an extra hour? No, we lose an hour of our sleep, if I remember correctly. So that's gonna kick in. Man, all kinds of fun stuff over here. But hey, complaints aside, let's enjoy what we got coming up tomorrow and what's coming up for the rest of the week. Stay in tune with all of that by showing up to the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m., Friday, 6 p.m. And this Friday, we got a fun guest about crypto. So if you don't know anything about crypto, make sure you tune in. We got a fun guest coming in and bring some questions. TraderPrad out. Love you guys. Adios. Hit the like.
Playbooks, monster moves on the QQQ, monster moves on Nvidia and other positions too, all across the board. Magnificent 7 also had a pretty good day on themselves today, so pretty good moves across the board. Or tech basket get destroyed. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen. brand new week of After the After Hours with your host Trader Prad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, Trader Prad out. Adios.